Today, we're going to be learning how to make some homemade chicken and shrimp fajitas. Here are the ingredients you'll need to get started. Let's kick this process off by making our tortillas. This will probably be the most labor-intensive part of the process. If you want to use store-bought, that's fine. But if you prefer the unmatched, fluffy, soft tortillas like me, we'll start by whisking our flour, salt, and baking powder. I'm using a stand mixer for simplicity, but it works just as well stirring by hand. And once they're combined, drop in your oil and slowly add warm water while still stirring. It'll start looking like this, but eventually over time it will begin to form a ball. On a lightly floured work surface, drop that out, knead until smooth and elastic, and divide into equal pieces. Form those into balls so that we can begin rolling out more evenly into our tortilla shape. Once you have that, drop it into a hot skillet and let it cook until crispy golden brown. And once they're ready, drop them in a closed container to keep them warm. While we have time, let's cook up some rice. Either white or brown, and now that we live in the 21st century, it's easy to throw on the default settings of your rice cooker. I'm going to spice it up a little by mixing salt, cumin, garlic powder, and chili powder. Stir that in along with our water and olive oil for a nice mild Spanish rice. While that's preparing, we're also going to cook up some beans. I prefer pinto, so let's strain them and drop them in a large saucepan, which will take to medium heat. Some sugar, oregano, cinnamon, and chipotle powder will give it more of a smoky taste. We're also going to add some aromatics, so half an onion, uncut. We want the flavor to seep in, but we also want to fish it out at the end. Let that simmer for 10 to 12 minutes. Now, one of my favorite parts of fajita cooking is the excuse to make a more unconventional guacamole. So as we cut, pit, and peel our avocados, remember that we already have plenty of savory in the filling, plenty of spice in the rice, and now we're going to make the guacamole a little sweet to complement the flavors. Chuck that in and smash lightly with a mortar and pestle. We want to leave it much lumpier than normal, which, although not great for chip dipping, is perfect for the inside of our fajitas. Add in our lemon juice and season this with salt, cumin, and paprika to taste. By to taste, I mean it. Taste it and adjust along the way. We don't want it to taste like wet grass. Cut up our apple, onion, cilantro, our unorthodox peaches, a half clove of garlic, and tomato if you like. Throw that in, give it a good stir, and we're ready to go. And now we're ready to start the main course. Crank up your heat one last time and evenly spread out your oil to cover the bottom of the skillet. Then lay down your chicken Actually, no, that's too slow. Dump it in all at once and season with salt and pepper. Let that cook for about 3 minutes and then add in your onions, pepper, water, and your spices. I like to mix up the chili powder, brown sugar, and paprika ahead of time because we need to do this stage quick. Stir that around, cover it, and let the water begin to evaporate for another 2 minutes. Now comes the great part, our shrimp. And just look at that steaming, sizzling. Leave that right there for another few minutes until our shrimp is fully cooked. And now that that's in the process, we can get ready to plate up. So let's lay down our fresh tortillas, still warm. I like to start out with a nice layer of beans on the bottom. They're easier to spread out that way. Followed by a dollop of rice, a hefty portion of our guacamole, and I think it's ready. The main attraction, our sizzling fajita filling. Crispy, steaming, flavorful. Let's put that right there and just fold it up in on itself, and boom. The best damn chicken and shrimp fajitas you can make. Let's eat.